I am the product of a single parent home. The daughter of a single mother. My mom and dad were never married. They were two incredibly young kids who did some incredibly crazy things, and say voila, you get me. I did not grow up knowing my dad. I met him for the first time that I can remember when I was 16 years old, a junior in high school, just getting ready to graduate. I am the survivor of 8 years of sexual abuse. And it's wild to think about because you wouldn't know it looking at me. I'm a fairly happy, easygoing person. My family moved around so much that I went to 9 different schools between kindergarten and my senior year. I did not make friends very easily because I was always the new kid, incredibly shy, incredibly quiet. I kept to myself. Music and books were my favorite thing, but you couldn't even get me to hum a tune when people were around. I was a straight A student and I got bullied a lot for being the new kid, for being the quiet kid, for being the kid that dressed differently. I was generally always in the minority in my school, so pick a reason. I got bullied for just about everything. In high school was when I finally had some friends, and because I didn't want anyone looking too closely, I lied about everything. I went to church with my grandparents. They were Methodist, and Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, we were in church, and if I stayed the night at my grandparents' house. But I didn't really know who Jesus was or that I was supposed to have a relationship with Christ. I think my first interaction with the Holy Spirit was when I was 15. I was very, very depressed, but nobody knew. I was very good at hiding it. My mom and my abuser were in the other room having a fight, and I knew what happened the next day. If they had a fight, the next morning was going to be horrible, and then the day would just tank from there. And sure enough, they were fighting pretty heavy. It was a dark and stormy night. And I laid there thinking I was done. I was tired of life. I was tired of life as I knew it. And I was going to just be done with life one way or another. And that was just going to be it. And I went to bed that night thinking I should just not exist anymore. And that's when I heard that voice, and it said, "This isn't it. You're not done. I'm not done with you." And in that moment, I laid there and I listened to the rain and the thunder and the lightning. And I wanted it to be over because I knew what the morning would bring. Morning dawned and exactly how I knew it would dawn. And instead of being done with life, I decided to be done with the fear and the pain. I called the police. And a lot of things happened in between then and now. My family didn't talk about anything. I never got therapy. I spent several years in relationships that were terrible for me. I didn't understand love. I didn't understand what joy was supposed to look like, feel like, be like. I had no clue. And then we joined our former church, and we were singing, "It is well, And all of a sudden, I felt different. I felt like me, but I felt different. And that's when I started learning more about who God was and how He loved us, and that we were created by Him. And while everything happens for a reason, all of those circumstances end up creating who we are. And so being a child of a single parent home with a mom who cared more about other things than your well-being half the time, with abuse and fear and manipulation, all of a sudden understanding that that happened, but it doesn't have to dictate who I am. I get to be a happy person. I get to sing out loud often. I get to have the family that I wish I had when I was a young girl. I get to be the mom I wanted. I am a child of God, and if it weren't for that voice that said, this isn't the end, you're not done, I'm not finished with you, life would look very different, because it probably would have stopped at 15. Instead, here I am. He brought me back from the edge of where I was, and He's led me here.